New York City. A city that never sleeps, built from stone, steel, and glass. But how did it get here? The skyline you see today wasn't built overnight. It took centuries of evolution, innovation, and bold visionaries. From colonial homes to towering skyscrapers, this is the story of how architecture in New York City became as iconic as the city itself. To understand New York's architecture, we must go back to its beginnings, a small Dutch colony that would one day become one of the world's greatest metropoli. In 1624, the Dutch founded a settlement at the southern tip of Manhattan Island. They called it New Amsterdam. It was a modest town, built from timber, clay, and stone. Wooden houses with steeply pitched roofs, narrow streets, and cobblestone alleys defined the early cityscape. Buildings were designed to serve both practicality and defense. The fortress-like homes, with their low-pitched roofs and gabled facades, reflected the harsh, utilitarian needs of the early colonists. But even here, there were hints of future grandeur. The Dutch West India Company set up a headquarters in the heart of New Amsterdam, a grand building designed to represent power and wealth. Though only remnants of this structure remain today, its legacy would influence the city's desire for more imposing structures as it grew. At this time, New York was a trading port. The city's architecture would reflect its position as a global trading hub in the centuries to come. When the British took control in 1664, renaming the colony New York, the architecture began to evolve. The Dutch style gave way to more classical, Georgian designs, influenced by British tastes. The Georgian style, characterized by symmetry, brick facades, and classical elements like columns, came to dominate the city. Wealthy merchants and traders began to build grand homes in the federal style, combining colonial craftsmanship with European sophistication. This was the beginning of what we know today as Manhattan's historic districts. Streets lined with red brick homes, classic stone stoops, and modest facades, an aesthetic that would later inspire some of the city's grandest residential buildings. By the late 19th century, New York's skyline was changing. The population surged, and the city was expanding vertically. The skyscraper was born, a product of technological innovation, ambition, and necessity. In 1913, the Woolworth Building opened as the tallest building in the world. Standing at 792 feet, it marked the dawn of the skyscraper era. The city was ready to go higher, much higher. The Empire State Building, completed in 1931, and the Chrysler Building, finished a year earlier, became symbols of Art Deco's bold geometry and technological advancement. These buildings embodied the spirit of the Roaring Twenties, fast, bold, and unapologetic. They didn't just change the skyline, they changed what it meant to live and work in New York. The very nature of urban life was altered, as office spaces stretched higher, providing views never before imagined. As the world recovered from the devastation of World War II, New York's architectural scene evolved once again. This time, the focus shifted to modernism, clean lines, glass facades, and open spaces. The Seagram Building in Midtown, designed by Ludwig Mies van der Rohe and Philip Johnson in 1958, set the standard for corporate modernist architecture. Its glass and steel construction stripped buildings of ornamentation, reflecting the era's fascination with function and simplicity. But not all modern architecture was sleek and minimal. The mid-20th century also saw the rise of brutalism, a style marked by bold, raw concrete. While controversial, buildings like New York's Metropolitan Building, 1960s, and City Hall, 1950s, represented a new kind of strength and permanence in the city's evolving landscape. The late 20th and early 21st centuries brought a wave of reinvention and revitalization. With new materials, cutting-edge technology, and global design trends, New York entered its postmodern era. In 2001, following the tragedy of 9/11, New York saw the construction of One World Trade Center, a symbol of resilience and rebirth. Its modern, glass and steel design represents the city's determination to rise from the ashes. Hudson Yards, an ambitious urban development project, brought a new wave of residential and commercial buildings, as well as public spaces like the Vessel, which defies traditional architectural styles with its spiraling structure. New York's architecture is a living history. From the cobbled streets of New Amsterdam to the soaring glass towers of today, every brick, every steel beam, tells a story of innovation, ambition, and the city's unbreakable spirit. As the skyline continues to evolve, so too does the story of New York. What started as a modest colonial town is now one of the most architecturally diverse cities in the world, with a skyline that's always changing, always growing. What will the New York of tomorrow look like? Perhaps, only time, and the next generation of architects, will tell. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.